The merciful, they shall obtain mercy. And the people that are more likely to be merciful are Israelites, Jakes. Okay, like if like, you know, sometimes when I see another Jake down in his luck, man, you know, sometimes, you know, I feel sorry for him. You know, Jake just got that compassion, you know. But mainly it's really referring to the men that's in the street. You know, if a brother goes off, you know, and he didn't really mean to do it, you're supposed to have mercy on the brother. Because if you don't have mercy on the brother that goes off, okay, and you know, you get on him like he did the worst thing since adultery, right? And he didn't mean to do it, then the Lord ain't gonna show no mercy when he comes. So you gotta show mercy. Go on, brother.
In verse 6, Isaiah 47, thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
Yeah, go on.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, but the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck,
right,
till you have destroyed
thee. So that means we're going to be enslaved to a time that we're literally destroyed. Okay, and if you look at our people, man, they're destroyed. They're so destroyed that Esau got them looking silly and publicating them in their docile state, or their doleful state of mind. All right, and basically giving them that corruptible wine to add insult into injury. So guess what? Esau's gonna have to pay for all of that, man. You know, these devils, they gonna have to pay for everything that they've done. Okay, and that's what the Israelites have to suffer in America, which we're really dealing with. The what is it? The old daughter of Babylon. Okay, go on, brother. Yeah. So get me going back to what's the name? Isaiah 49.
Verse 7, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
Right, and neither remembered the latter end of it. They didn't consider that there was going to come a time where if we keep doing this to the very, you know, to as long as possible, then there's going to come a time where we're going to be judged for that. They still don't even consider that. Okay, you got these higher up bankers and these different governors and legislators and stuff. They're still forwarding the affliction of Israel. They're making things a lot more worse for Israel, and they're still committing they're still indulging in sorcery and witchcraft to mess up the people psychologically. And neither do they consider their end to be destroyed. Go on, brother.
Ecclesiastes 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
Beautiful, beautiful. Read that again.
Ecclesiastes 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work.
Right, it says sentence against an evil work. Go on.
Is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
So it says the sons of men are fully set in them to do evil. The thing about it is there comes a time and a place where judgment comes. You understand? And when you keep doing evil because you've gotten away with it, guess what? There's going to come a time when you least expect it. Something could happen to you. You might get run over by a car, or you know, somebody might, you know, a group of guys might come against you and, you know, beat you to your bloody or your death. Any incident can happen. Or you might be walking in a certain way and all of a sudden your legs break apart. You know? Or you might walk up the stairs or walk downstairs and you break your neck. Why? Because of the ill deeds that you've done, but you never expected it to come. Give me since you read that, give me Ecclesiastes 8 and 7. The same chapter.
Ecclesiastes 8, verse 7. For he knoweth not that what shall be.
Right.
For who can tell him when it shall be?
Right. And who can tell him when it shall be? So, you know, judgment is sort of like the thing where you don't even know. You don't even know when it comes. Okay? And it's like I can do one. It's like, for example, when I was a young lad, you know, and when we were all young lads, we all thought that we was invincible and we could just do evil. You're laughing because you know it's true. You know, you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, so we had that mentality. We thought that we could just do no wrong. We could go out probably still, you know, your best mate's cupcake or whatever. That's what you did when you was a young lad. Okay, but there comes a time where something happens to you. All right, and certain things did happen to me when I was doing wicked things when I was a lad. Okay, so that's just that. I'm just making that as an example. But it still goes like that even when you're grown and you're an adult. Okay, you can only but do so much evil and not be aware of it. But guess what? Still, the Lord is going to deal with you. You know, just like these white boys over there, they walk around and they make fun of us. You know, and they make fun of our people. You know, secretly they talk shit about Jake. And guess what? All of that's going to be required, baby. When the day of judgment comes, all of that's going to be required. You know why? Because the angels of the Lord are in secret places, man, beholding the wicked. The eyes of the Lord are beholding every place, and even the wicked. Okay, so all of that is going to build up your rapture, your transgressions. See? But they're a part of the ecosystem, bro. They're going.
Verse 12, in the same chapter, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High,
right,
which fear before him.
Right, yeah, read that verse again. I wasn't following up what you were saying.
Verse 12, though a sinner do evil 100 times.
Right, it says, though a sinner do evil 100 times, go on.
And his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High.
Right, it shall be well with them that fear the Most High. Because they're going to keep walking that righteous path, and they're going to keep doing those righteous deeds. Okay, and they're not going to linger up into the wrong path. Those that keep doing wrong continually without even noticing that they're doing wrong, or whether they know it or not, judgment is going to be swinging right besides their skulls. And they're going to know about it, man, because we've had multiple different guys that have come up and rose up against us, and I don't think they alive, man. The Spirit's telling me somebody dropped dead or something like that, because that somebody came up here, and we didn't have to put no hands on them. Okay, because it happens. I've seen videos of brothers where certain, you know, like for example, you have these brothers in Guyana, and you had this woman that walked on the brothers' signs and stuff. And did you know she died publicly? Okay, her death was publicated. You see that? So, you know, when you mess with the men of the Lord, man, there's a major judgment that goes behind them. Go on.
It says, shall be well with them that fear the Most High.
Right, it shall be well with them that fear the Most High. Go on.
Which fear before him.
Which fear before him. Go on.
But it shall not be well with the wicked.
Right, but it shall not be well with the wicked. And who's the wicked? Give me Malachi 1:4 real quick. We're going to show you who the wicked is. Is you have a group of people that are the righteous. And you have a group of people or a nation of people that are known as the wicked. We're going to find out who the wicked is in Malachi, the first chapter.
Malachi 1 verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
You're going.
Thus saith Yahweh of hosts.
It does say Yahweh of hosts, going.
They shall build, but I will throw down.
But they shall build, but I will throw down, going.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
And why would they be called the border of wickedness? Because there's a nation of people that's known to cut nothing but forest trees. Okay, known to cut down trees like it's going out of style, extincting certain animals, polluting the air that they only breathe in. Which you gotta be a dumb, stupid idiot to pollute the same air that you breathe in. Okay, which basically depletes the amount of oxygen on the earth. When you cut down certain trees, or when you pollute the air that you breathe in, what you're doing is you're limiting the amount of oxygen that's on the earth, which you need oxygen so that the organs can move, so that the organs can do what they gotta do. The organs work better when you have more oxygen in your body. But you got these devils, they're known to cut trees down. Okay, they're known to pollute the earth so bad, so much so that the animals are being screwed up and the whole entire ecosystem is being screwed up. So this man is the wicked man. The suit and tie, double chin, pigskin Edomite. That's the wicked. Go on, brother.
It said, they shall call him the board of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever.
That's it there. Get me on Matthew the 7th chapter where it speaks about you should know their truth by its fruits. Because all we're bringing out is the Bible. We teach what the Bible deals with, man. That's all we're teaching. We're not dealing with the Christianity doctrine or the Islamic doctrine or this doctrine or that doctrine. We're dealing with what the Bible is saying, man. And the so-called white man, what we're getting on right now, the Spirit of the Lord is getting on Esau right now. All right? Yeah, give me what you got, brother.
Matthew 7 verse 16.
This is about that time. Go on.
Ye shall know them by their fruits.
Right, you shall know them by their fruits. And the so-called white man has proven himself time and time out, time and time again, that he is indeed the wicked that Malachi foretold about. Okay, and there's other Bible verses we can bring out proving that fact. Okay, we can go into the history of what they've done and what they're doing right now can further validate that point of view. See? So there's no getting around it, man. We know what's going on. We know who's who. And we're just like the elites that know what's going on. We're not like your everyday John and James on the street walking around like they ain't got nothing else to do. Or walking around confused of what is going on. Don't have a clue about what life is all about as well. Okay, we know what's going on, man. Go on, brother.
Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Going back to
it's like they passed a new law, a new bill, and they were saying that what they're going to start doing is they're going to start shooting so-called terrorists, which they set up by themselves in the car because of what happened in Westminster. All right, just like what they did in to this woman, the head brother Ramah. You know, he did a show on it, and what they've done is there was this I believe it was like a SWAT team like cop or something. What they've done is they've basically raided her house and shot her ass. That's what they did. They raided into this woman's house because she was wearing a burqa, and they shot her ass. What? What's that, bro? What was she wearing? No, basically, the SWAT team, they raided her house.
I think they covered their face, only the eyes.
She was wearing a burqa. Okay, you know the Muslims, they wear the burqa, which covers their face and all of that. And they just shot her ass to death. They shot her down.
Right, what did she do?
Nah, because what was going on, there was a terrorist raid. There was a terrorist raid that was going on, and she was in the midst of that sort of area, and they just shot her because they suspected that she was a terrorist. So it's going to start getting real out here, man. People think that this thing is a joke and it's a game. Before you know it, they're going to start passing laws, because I'm going to bring out the Civil Contingency Act, which they're going to be more effectively able to do so. So it's going to get to the point where they're going to start shooting random people they suspect as terrorists and just start shooting everybody. That's what it's going to get down to. And this happened in London. This didn't happen in America or elsewhere or another country. This happened in Northwest London.
It should be that madness.
And that's what we're getting down to, man.
Because by the police unions, they've already been asking the government for more powers.
Right.
Because the police unions, sometimes they affect the way the government changes their laws. Yeah. It's like a judge. When a judge passes a law, sometimes they check, like what happens. Like if something happens, like a lawyer can say, this judge passed this law according to this judgment, and then they go by the same judgment which one particular judge passed.
Yeah.
So the police unions do the same thing as well. They're constantly influencing the way the laws are changed. Road laws and everything. The police that got the government. This is how this is done. Yeah. We want it to be done this way, and the government changes the laws.
Yeah.
They've been asking,
yeah. So it's going to start getting real. They're going to go from literally shooting people. They're not going to go from arresting people no more. That's going to be out of the loop. What they're going to do is they're going to change the whole game, baby. And these cops out here that you see walking up and down the street,
They shot the bitch, man.
They just going to shoot random people.
Was before the laws.
I'll tell you what, brother, give me Revelations 12 and 12.
does she do?
The way the law is set up is, yeah, before, if something happens, before they can fire, they need permission first. So somebody needs to give the go ahead that they can fire their weapons. They can't just come up somewhere with their guns and fire their weapons. They need to get the go ahead first.
Yeah,
fire the weapons, but they need to they want to get rid of that so they can just come up to such situations.
Just start shooting random people, but it's going to get to that anyway, and we know without a shadow of a doubt that it's going to get to that, because these cops out here, they're going to be transformed into the military or the SWAT team, and they're going to just start shooting people, man. And this is something we've been going into for years. We've been touching on this for years, man, and now it's finally here. Okay, the law got something cooking in the kitchen, man, for these jackasses out here, and all of these niggas out here that's in London as well that we know of, they gonna get dealt with too. Yeah, Revelations 12 and 12. About Bashar.
Yeah, exactly. 12 and 12, Revelation. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
Yeah.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth.
Yeah, it says to rejoice ye heavens on earth, meaning the angels are rejoicing right now, because we're getting closer and closer to the end. Because don't think for 1 minute, brothers, man, that this is going to be an easy way out. This thing is going to get crazy. You're going to start seeing things that you never even seen before. Okay? Shit is going to happen so bad that, man, it could shake your faith, man. You know? But you got to be mentally prepared and stable-minded in that time. And even from now on. Thanks, bro. Yeah, that's it right there.
That's this year.
And that's this year. It says, this is from the Telegraph News. Welcome, shot, brother, for that. The brother sent me some news article to read. This is from the Telegraph News. British police officers asked if they want to carry guns in the wake of terror attack. So it says Britain could move closer towards having a fully armed police, as officers from country's biggest force are today asked if they want to carry a gun. And I remember a couple of months ago, we was out here, and we had 2 cops that came over here, and they was rolling with them big ass guns. Okay, they came right out of Waterloo Station, and they came towards us and stuff like that, man. So this thing is getting real. Shit is getting real out here, man. And that's why brothers gotta be on point within themselves, and they gotta be on deck mentally as well. Because this shit is gonna get real, man. It's gonna get so bad out here, man, that brothers gonna have to be on the run now. So I'm gonna read this. It says, so read what you got, brother. Yeah, just finish that, and I'll go back to this. Come on.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea.
Yeah.
For the devil is come down unto you.
Yes, it says the devil has come down unto you. Go on.
Having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
And that's how they're gonna come. And that's why the British police, they're asking for more. They're asking for a reason why they want to carry guns. Because you gotta understand something. The gun is Esau's blessing, and they got all type of sorts of guns that they want to use on the people. And they can't wait on that hour of judgment, on the hour of martial law, to use these guns. Okay? It's the so-called European, he's a big advocate for a gun, or a thing that kills you, a thing that brings destruction, because that's their blessing. Okay? And we reading about it, man. Things about to get real out in this environment. So we reading, it says, the Metropolitan Police Federation will be asking its members whether they would be willing to carry a gun or a taser in the wake of a spate of terror attacks. In Europe, they will be also asked if the prospect of being armed will put them off their jobs. Nationally, the numbers of armed police is being boosted to 1,500. Officers, numbers that security officials believe Britain needs to help protect the public. Now, let me go into that. So it says, see, people don't know what's going on. People do not know what's going on. If people knew what was really going down here, there would be a revolution overnight. Trust me. Okay, there will be protesting, rioting going on right now, if people actually knew what was going down. But it says, the number of armed police is being boosted by 1,500 officers. The numbers that security officials believe Britain needs to help protect the public from possibility of a terror attack. So how are they gonna protect the public? Now I'm gonna read the Civil Contingency Act bill. I'm gonna get into that now. This is how they're gonna protect the British people. Because they've already passed the bill 13 years ago. So you don't pass a bill or a law to not use the law. You're gonna pass the bill or the law to use the law. Okay? Because these people think that we're joking around, man. But let them think that we're joking around. That's all right. That's fine. That's fine and dandy, baby. Let me go over here. And this is what the men of the Lord have been prophesying for years, man. All of the brothers at Great Millstone, we've been pushing that vibration of martial law, the microchip technology. Okay, and you also have articles going out there how Europe is looking to be a cashless area now. London's going to start going cashless now. It's the new technology is going to be the mark of the beast. We've been talking about this for freaking years, man. Years. And now we at the home. Man, it's some beautiful times, man. It's beautiful. Anyway, so I'm gonna try and see if I can find this thing, man. Yeah, let me see if I can get this right. Yeah, I'll tell you what, brother. While I'm looking, you read that verse again if you can.
Revelation 12 verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
Right.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea.
Right. And why does it say woe? Go on.
For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. Right. Because he knoweth that he have but a short time.
And how are they going to come down with great wrath? See, we've been reading these same scriptures for years. And now the Lord is bringing his prophecies into fruition. Get me Isaiah 55 and 11.
Can I say something real quick?
I tell you what, brother. Yeah, say what you got to say.
See, on the same article is, the way we say every time that a lot of these terrorism acts, they are, what you call that, they are false flags.
Right.
Basically, in the same article, it says, however, if there is a major incident on mainland England, then I think people's opinion could change.
Right. And you know what too? And that's something that they've always been planning. I don't mean to cut you off, brother, but that's what they want. They want people to accept the New World Order system, because people are already against the New World Order system. So once something major happens and they bring about fear on the people to a large rate, guess what that's going to do? That's going to change the direct. That fear is going to go towards them seeking protection from the government. Okay, just like in America, they're going to be asking for FEMA for help. You're going to have a bunch of Negroes, a bunch of blind-backed Negroes asking for FEMA to support them. And they're going to do the same thing over here. You're going to have a bunch of people wanting the help for the government. And they all going to be microchipped, baby. Okay? So here we are right here. This is how they're going to protect the British public. This is in the Civil Contingency, the Civil Contingency Act bill that was passed in 2004. So, I mean, we haven't really went into this into a long time, but, you know, it's about time we bring this back into fruition now. So, yeah, just bear me for 1 minute. And I'm going to just get to the point, too. Right, here we are right here. So it says, now that's America. Yeah, just spare me for 1 minute. Right, here we are right here. This is the UK now. So it says, when the draft Civil Contingency Bill was published in 2003, it created a furor among civil liberty groups and members of parliament. One committee member, former Tory whip Lord Lucas of Crudwell, raised the prospect that once a state of an emergency is declared, the government can effectively tear up the rest of the Constitution. And any bits of the bill that they do not like, they can create a republic. Right? So the Constitution, they can, because a part of the Constitution includes our democratized rights, etc., and all of that beyond. So what they want to do is they want to get rid of that, because when you establish a new world order the way they want to establish it, the new world order is going to be based on nothing but total control over the people, control of their goods, utilities, etc. You're going, brother. And that's what they're going to do. You can even read that in, what is it, 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. That's all prophecy. So they're going to take everything, even your cars too. They're going to take people's cars, all of that. Go on, brother.
That's what I mean, something, because it talks about how this white man, he changes his laws every second. In Psalms 20, verse 7, the law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever.
Right, enduring forever. Go on.
Because it doesn't change. That's the point.
Yeah, because the laws of the Most High don't change, but see what the so-called white man is going to do. Because his main goal is to have full control over everybody and everything. Okay, that makes up this whole entire earth. They want to even, and I mean, like, this may sound even far-fetched, but they even want control of the air that you breathe. That's why you got a cracker such as Al Gore, and if he was a prime minister, he would have taxed the people for breathing air. So that's what they want. They want our full control. So we're going to go back to the Civil Contingency Act bill. Okay, so it says, right, it says, the government can effectively tear up the rest of the Constitution and any bits of this bill they do not like and create a republic. This Chakrabarti, spokesman for Liberty, agreed that the most colorful scenario is see a Secretary of State with absolute legislative power. Theoretically, mounting a threat to the whole UK Constitution. So if there's a state of an emergency, they can cut away your rights, which that's the plan, all of it. That's always been the plan. Excuse me, God. That's always been the plan. The plan is always to take away the rights of the people. And that's where it's going to lead to. Okay? So it says, now we're going to just get to the point. So it says, the draft civil contingency bill also allowed police to enforce emergency cordons in major British cities in the event of a terrorist attack. That's the buzzword. The buzzword is terrorism. You understand? So they keep using that word in the media to get the people hip to that. And like you said, brother, if there's a bunch of ISIS guys out there, which the government has set up, which is a CIA formulated group, MI5, MI6, whatever it is, whatever alphabet you want to call it, they set these guys up and they bring about astronomical trouble, okay, in a certain country to bring about fear on the people. And then that way, based on those formulated groups of men that they've made up, based on the dangers that they've caused around in the public, they can then take away the rights of the people. Okay? It's just that simple. Strategically planned. This whole thing is planned out already. So I'm gonna read some more. It says, let me see something real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna just get to the point, man. I'm gonna get to the point.
This is my favorite TV show.
So it says, the Civil Contingency Act was passed into law on the 18th of November 2004. I wrote 2 letters to MP expressing my concerns about the act and was delighted to receive detailed replies from Ruth Kelly, Minister from the Cabinet Office. Okay. On both occasions, she would not accept my. Let me go up a little bit because I'm missing a couple of things. I know what the issue is. One of them on over there because I gotta light my phone. Let me see if I can light my phone. Bring that light right on up. Okay, here we are. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to the thing now. So it says, yeah, here we are. I'm gonna start right here. It says, the draft civil. Let me see. Yeah, it says the draft civil contingency bill also allows police to enforce emergency cordons in major British cities, which London is a major British city. Okay, in the event of a terrorist attack. The new law would allow police to stop the spread of infection by throwing health cordons. So that can even be a biological attack or anything of that nature as well, which you're gonna have a biological attack as well.
So what did he say?
No, it says they'll be able to protect the people from a biological attack. And then basically what you're gonna have is you're gonna have the police control the cities because of that. Okay. So it says it's gotta happen, brother. It's gotta happen, man.
Yeah, I'm waiting, man.
Has to happen because we gotta get out of here. And so it says the draft civil contingency bill. Where is that before? Right. Here we go. So it says around areas hit by biological or chemical attacks, according to the Sunday Times newspaper. It said that people would be prevented from escaping from the affected area.
Yeah.
Especially trained armed police and military units would be sent in to enforce the cordons and control any outbreak of disorder. So any outbreak of disorder, they'll be able to clamp down and close up the cities. You can get that in Second Esdras, brother. So that's going to be the new reality. The reality of the matter is this society is going to go from being at peace as it is right now, from being a totally different world altogether. Go on, brother.
Luke 21, verse 19. In your patience, possess your souls.
And that's what we got to do. Go on, brother.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
Right, and although that's talking about 70 AD, because the same thing's going to happen all over again. All right, the same thing that happened to us 2,000 years ago when the Romans stormed in our land, which was Jerusalem. They're going to do the same thing all over again. They're going to storm against Jake. They're going to rise up against Jake, but guess what? Go on.
Once the whole, like, everything, like...
Okay, that's it. Once they storm against Jake and they storm against the prophets, the Lord is going to really speed this thing up. Because all of the prophecies would have already been fulfilled already. Okay, go on.
Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto.
Right. Yeah, that's it on that, brother. That's it on that.
Like they're trying to get out.
But they're not going to go nowhere because it's going to be martial law. There's going to be quadrilles in certain streets, and they ain't going nowhere.
I want more.
No, that's it, brother. That's it. Yeah. So it says, right. Here we are. So it says, specially trained armed police and military units would be sent in to enforce the cordons and control any outbreak of disorder, including looting. The Ministry of Defense told newspaper that a new civil contingency reaction force would have the option of using live ammunition. So what was that article you read to me, brother? How they want to use weapons, right?
Yeah.
The police, they want to use the weapons and they go into the judge so they can get that sorted out. But guess what? It's going to go from them using them guns, those big ass guns that's got those thick ass bullets in them, right? And they're going to be using those live bullets. That's what it's going to get down to, man. It's going to go from them using the guns and then actually using those live bullets, because they're going to use those bullets to kill large amounts of people they suspect as enemy combatants in the state. Go on.
2nd Esdras 5 verse 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number.
Right, and those that be dwelling on the earth shall be taken in great number. Go on.
And the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith.
Right, and the land shall be barren of faith. Go on. You know, and that's what is going to happen. You're going to have people, they're going to lose faith, and they're going to lose their minds altogether. Because this thing is getting realer and realer every single day. Okay, because I don't really normally bring out the Civil Contingency Act. I used to, you know, I used to read about it and all of that, but now I'm bringing it out now. I think it's quiet time. I think it's the quiet time for me to bring it out. Because they're going to use the Civil Contingency Act bill on people. That's why they passed it 13 years ago. They passed bills because later on down the line, somewhere down the line, they're going to use that sort of law. They're going to enforce that law, which will destroy your your Constitution.